Welcome into Nickerson Hall. The 3-3 Indianapolis Greyhounds take on the 1-6 William Jewell Cardinals. Hi, everybody, and welcome in. I'm Giselle Valentine, joined by Caden Colford and Jace Hodge. So the Greyhounds are coming off a loss on Monday at Truman State. So, guys, what can the Greyhounds do tonight to get back in the win column?
Well, the Greyhounds are at their best when they're playing at their pace, when they're putting some pressure on the offense, when they're getting the ball out in the break, when they're scoring those easy baskets. And one more thing, they're missing their point guard in Alana Wells. And Alana Wells brings a lot of energy and intensity, so they're going to have to figure out a way to bring that here tonight.
And that is a big loss. But tonight, UINDY needs to get out and attack early to force William Jewell to try to come back.
All right, thank you guys so much for your insight. Tip-off gets underway shortly here on UINDY TV on the GLVC Sports.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Jada Lake.
I don't even have her on my sheet.
Yeah, you do.
Do I? Oh,
Oh, Jada Patton. Hi again, everybody. Back to Frank. Swings past it to Emery Zars. Back to Frank. Top of the key, goes into the low post.
They were begging her to shoot it there.
And it is, the basket is good.
As I mentioned earlier, they need to shoot the ball well. They're only 28% from behind the arc, so that is a key early three for Jewell.
William Harris on top of the key. Passes it to Lake, the left wing. Back to Harris. Patton's going to go for the three, but looks like it was even a long two at that point, but it is off as it now is William Jewell's ball.
Talking to Coach Mark Mitchell earlier, he's really high on Jada Patton, right? She has the ability to score in bunches, and scoring in bunches is what this team needs.
Yes, indeed. Nice little double team from Alani Williams-Harris and Jada Patton there.
And you see the intensity that she brings on both sides, right? The energy, the intensity, it's what you need.
This is her first start of the year. So obviously Mark Mitchell showing that he has confidence in her to start.
Basket is good from William Jewell as they're up 5-0 here, 5-2 here early on in this game. Lake driving in on the left side, but she is blocked. I believe foul might have been called. And it's going to send Lake to the free throw line. The Greyhounds making their first free throw appearance here today. We love to hear some passionate Greyhounds fans as Jada Lake puts one of two free throws for the Greyhounds and makes her second.
This is a bit of a different lineup for UINDY. They started Jada Patton and Jada Lake with two different players that we haven't really seen start yet.
And let's talk about that lineup for a quick second. I know head coach Mark Mitchell has been getting pretty creative with his lineups. Why do you think that is, guys?
So from what I can see, Jada Lake and Jada Patton are a bit taller. He's trying to counter the height of William Jewell with Lake and Patton.
Alani Williams-Harris with the long two. As UINDY now takes the lead. Chloe Frank with the jumper. It is no good. Sadie Hill down with the rebound.
And you get the sense that the Greyhounds are really trying to speed these Cardinals up with a full court press.
Williams-Harris looking at her options. Little miscommunication there between Harris and Sadie Hill as they thought it was supposed to be a screen. And foul is called.
It's great play design right there. Great pick and roll. It's a great entry pass from Alani Williams-Harris to Sadie Hill and drew the foul.
And Sadie Hill needs to be a big impact player for the Greyhounds to win games. She's averaging 14 points per game this year. And when they win games, she plays well.
And she's coming into today's contest with back-to-back doubles. She's scored in the double figures out of 5 out of 6 games so far. As you guys mentioned, she has been a huge player for the Greyhounds. 86% free throw shooter as she misses her first.
You can call that the announcer's jinx.
Yeah. Oh, well.
And UINDY also just brought in Tashi Kukobat, who we've seen for only 5 minutes this year.
Makes her second. Inbound pass. William Jewell kind of in the press. And we're also seeing the addition of the forward, Idalis Ortiz, is now checked into the game for the Greyhounds, taking out Jada Lake and Jada Patton as well.
There's a lot of height on the floor now for UINDY, countering that William Jewell height as well.
And Idalis Ortiz, in her last game, she was the leading scorer with 22 points for Truman State, and she's been a pretty big, solid, and tough player, helping the Greyhounds out with their intensity and their energy.
Yeah, she's really a great player on both sides of the court. She has the ability to shoot the ball. She has the ability to get the ball off the glass, off the rim, and it really helps the Greyhounds.
Missed jumper from Liv Becker. Greyhounds ball as it was tipped by William Jewell Cardinal.
And just as we were calling her name, Idalis Ortiz, her intensity, her energy on the board shows right there.
Mark Mitchell yelling at his girls, telling them what kind of play to draw. Inbound pass. Harris finds Liv Becker for the layup, but she was fouled. And a lot of fouls are being drawn pretty early in this game, guys. That's one thing I've been noticing.
And that needs to continue for the Greyhounds. They're a pretty solid shooting pretty solid free throw shooting team, I should say, and that's something that they need to attack. Going up against these bigger defenders, I mean, getting a lot of points at the line could be a big lift.
And Liv Becker here, she's an 80% shooter from the line.
Liv Becker sinks in her first, and she sinks in the second. Alani William Harris checks out. In is the graduate student guard Maya Scheidt into the game for the Greyhounds. Chloe Frank brings it up court. Passes it to Shannon, who goes back to Hillier, who's going to take the three, and it is good.
A great pump fake there to free her up and a sidestep to put it down.
And Kate Hillier can shoot the ball well. She's a 40% shooter on the year.
Scheidt with the pass to Idalis Ortiz on the left wing. Passes it back to Tasi Kukobat. Maya Scheidt with the bounce pass to Idalis, trying to fight her way through the defenders. No good, but rebound by Sadie Hill. Tasi Kukobat tries to get the three, but it is way off as it is an air ball. Cardinals get the possession. And it looks like there is a media timeout. So we're going to take a moment, step aside. When we return, we are now going to throw it down on the sidelines with Leticia Vaselli. Leticia, what do you have for us?
Hey guys, so this Monday, actually, the girls took a painful loss to Truman State Bulldogs, and Mark Mitchell was not happy. One of the things that he said is that they need to be more aggressive in their defense and up their percentage in their three-pointers. So that's exactly what they have to do tonight to beat William Jewell. William Jewell, back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Leticia. Welcome back into Nickerson Hall. We are coming off our first media timeout. UINDY leads 9-8. And guys, what have you been seeing so far from the Greyhounds that you've been really pretty much impressed with?
Well, we talked about it before the break, right? They're attacking the basket. They're getting a lot of foul calls, and they've scored a majority of their points on free throws, which should be an emphasis the rest of the game.
I think Mark Mitchell is doing a good job of countering that height of William Jewell by putting in players that have height.
Sadie Hill with the overhead bounce pass to Ida Liz Ortiz, who gets the board going for the Greyhounds. Wide. And a foul is drawn here on UINDY. And Rachel Sen will now go to the free throw line. The sophomore forward from Springfield, Missouri. Appeared in 3 games with 2 starts last season before a season-ending injury. She's an all-academic GLVC, and back in high school, she led her team to 3 straight district titles. She knocks in her first free throw.
And she had her best game of the season against McKendree in her last game. She had 10 points and 5 rebounds.
And now checked in for the Greyhounds is number 10, Caitlin Krebs, as Rachel made her second. Fast break, Liv Becker loses possession of the ball. A little bit of frustration. Now it's William Jewell's ball.
Well, you can see that UINDY was pushing the pace. They want to attack and attack early.
And here's the full court press. Hoping to accomplish the same thing right here.
And UINDY has been utilizing this full court press method a lot more recently lately, guys, as William Jewell was able to get that basket going for the.
I think Mark Mitchell really wants to use the Greyhound speed against a bigger team, but this Cardinals team is really picking apart the press, in all honesty. They're moving the ball really well and finding the open girl.
Jump ball. Was a little scrappy down there. Good hustle by Caitlin Krebs and Maya Scheid, as they were both just trying to fight for that ball right there. But it will be William Jewell's ball as they'll bring it up court. And one thing I've been noticing about this team, guys, is that this William Jewell team, a lot of their minutes have been played by their freshmen and sophomores. This is a very young team, as Jace mentioned earlier in this game here.
And at this level, experience is so valuable, right? The more you've played at this level, the more teams you face, the more you've seen. It just gives you a better understanding of the game around you.
Libby Arno will check in for the William Jewell Cardinals. Harris moves to her right. Lauren with the overhead pass in the paint to Ortiz, as she made her second bucket here today.
Really great pass from With to Ortiz there, and that's part of the second unit that's really crucial for this Greyhound team. Their second unit comes in and they put in valuable minutes, right? They're always putting this Greyhound on the upside.
And Caitlin Krebs will be charged with the push foul, as Mark Mitchell was a little bit frustrated with the officials, as he thought she was just playing good defense. But anyway, William Jewell will inbound the ball.
That's something we'll see from Mark Mitchell a lot. He's an emotional guy. He wears his emotions on his sleeve, and you can't blame him, right? He's a basketball guy.
Zars with the little spin move in the paint, being double teamed right now. She tried to fight her way through traffic and just put up the shot, but it was no good.
Here they go again, pushing the pace. The energy's here for UINDY.
Lauren with the long two. Oh, with the three, excuse me, as Indianapolis takes the lead here.
And With also had a good game at Truman State with 11 points and 5 rebounds.
There's a foul drawn. Lauren with her first foul of the game. It'll Rachel Sen gets back to the line here.
And we just saw her transition three there. It was really a great shot. She found her rhythm. She got her footing right. She put the shot up. It was great looking.
Checking in for the William Jewell Cardinals is the junior guard, Katie Knock, checks in for her first time here today. She was the only Cardinal last season to start all 26 games. She averaged about eight points per game, so it's nice to see her out here today. And checking in for the Greyhounds is Jody Mullins. She will take over Liv Becker. And Jody Mullins, a player that we have seen a little bit here this season. So what do you guys think with the addition of her out on the court?
She's a really good shooter. She can shoot the three ball well. You can guarantee that she's going to be in that corner waiting for the open shot.
William Harris tries to drive through, no good. Ortiz with the rebound, that is no good. And, ooh, it is getting scrappy down there, but it will be a jump ball. And talk about this hustle from this team, as you guys mentioned. This is a team that doesn't stop regardless.
And that was something they struggled with early in the season, right? They let up a lot of offensive rebounds, a lot of second chance points.
Inbound pass to Ortiz, back to Harris, back to Krebs, who goes inside the paint. She is charged with the foul. That foul will be on Katie Knock. Her first. Caitlin Krebs making her first appearance today at the free throw line. She's coming off a 16-point game against Quincy a couple days ago. She led the team scoring with 16 points, 4 for 6 from the three-point line. She was able to knock down both.
And she's another one of those players that can spot up and shoot the three as well. So getting her open looks will be something that UINDY looks for.
And UINDY has an array of shooters. They have plenty of shooters to go about, and you bet they're going to try to hit those threes tonight.
Inbound pass to William Jewell. Greyhounds are still utilizing that full court press. Rachel Sen trying to go for the layup, but it is no good. Rebound by Ortiz. Jody Mullins with the spin move. Passes it to Krebs, back to Mullins, back to Harris. Top of the key, Mark Mitchell telling the girls to slow down the play a little bit. Harris with the spin move. Passes back to Mullins, who tries to go for the layup, but she is fouled.
And you mentioned Coach Mark Mitchell telling his team to slow down. He wants them to play fast, right? But there's a difference between playing fast and playing out of control, and I think that's what we were seeing before Coach gave his 2 cents.
And now checking in for the Cardinals is number 2, De'Asia Collier-Williams, making her first appearance here tonight. Free throw is good by Mullins as she sinks her first. She misses her second, but Ortiz tried to rebound it, but it is no good as William Jewell gets possession of the ball. 3 from Katie Knock is no good. Rebounded by Scheit as she quickly brings it up court. Off to Krebs. Back to Mullins. Krebs with the long 2, no good. Rebound, William Jewell.
Ball movement was great on that possession. They got the shot they wanted, just didn't fall.
No good from William Jewell.
In the same case scenario on the other side of the floor. They're getting the shots they want. They're just not falling on either end.
Lauren with the 3, and it is good as she makes her second here today. And she's been pretty fire from the three-point line.
Yeah, she sure has. And she played in 13 starts last year, so she has that experience.
Ball is stolen. Jolie Mullins with the spin move. No good. Ortiz with the rebound. It is blocked as she fell to the ground. And it will be William Jewell ball.
You can tell both teams are definitely pushing the pace now. William Jewell starting to match that pace that UINDY is bringing tonight.
Ortiz will check out of the game. Back in is Jada Patton. Lauren Whiff will check out of the game. Entering is number 3, Caroline Jakaitis. And Jakaitis has been playing a lot more minutes this season, guys.
She's a big presence on the defensive end, too. I mean, she had a block earlier this year that set this place on fire.
Collier Williams taking her time, analyzing her options as she goes to the left. Swings, passes it to Zars. That is no good. Rebound by Jada Patton, and that will bring the end of the first quarter. UINDY leads 22, William Jewell 14. And now that we have time, we're going to step aside and we're going to go down on the sidelines with Leticia Baselli. Leticia, what do you have for us?
So guys, this was a kind of exciting first 10 minutes of the first quarter, and the coaches seem really, really excited about how the game is going. But Mark Mitchell was very expressive about how he wants the girls' defense to be way better coming up for the rest of this game.
You got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Welcome back to Nickerson Hall. UINDY leads 22, William Jewell 14. And guys, it's been a pretty high-paced first quarter. What have you guys been seeing so far that's been really kind of struck out to you?
I love the pace at which the Greyhounds are playing at. You know, they're playing their brand of basketball. They're getting the ball down the court, and they found a couple transition threes with Lauren Whiff. Got to put them up here to start second.
And you took the words right out of my mouth. The pace in this game is extraordinarily high. You can see that towards the end of the quarter that William Jewell is starting to match that pace, try to counter what UIND is doing.
And William Jewell will inbound the ball here to Aiden Shannon. Moves onto the top of the key, guarded heavily by Jada Patton. Back to Zars in the paint as she was able to get the floater for the Cardinals.
Crafty shot there over the taller Jakaitis. That's a tough shot.
Sure is. And Zars is one of those freshmen that we were talking about, how they have a very young team. And she was a 2-time All-State player.
Jada Lake finds Maya Scheidt at the right wing. Back to Lake, finds Patton. Caroline Jakaitis driving in with the overhead pass to Mullins as she drives in with the little jumper. It is no good. Rebound Jakaitis, and Jakaitis with the second chance points for the Greyhounds.
A great possession there on offense. The ball was moving so gracefully, and hey, they got the shot they wanted, didn't fall. But then they get the offensive rebound, put it right back up for 2.
And it looks like a foul was drawn by UINDY. Will be inbounded by William Jewell. Finds Emery Zars, the freshman, as she just does a pivot and spin move, and she was able to get the jumper going.
She faced up, felt the space, and she let it fly.
Mark Mitchell yelling to his girls, slow it down. Scheidt passes it to Lake at the right wing. Lake looking at her options, passes it to Patton on top of the key. To Mullins, Jakaitis, now back to Maya Scheidt with the little crossover, and she throws it up in the air. It is no good. Rebounded by Kate Hillier, and a push foul, was called on UINDY.
And that was a good possession on defense by William Jewell. They were all over the floor, moving their feet, getting in front of the UINDY players.
And a great box out there led to the foul called on UINDY.
Liv Becker now checks back into the game, taking Jody Mullen's spot. Aiden Shannon with the inbound pass to Collier Williams, who will bring it up court with a little crossover move, trying to shake up Liv Becker, as she just finds an opening with the bounce pass to Ernsting, but it is no good. Jada Lake with the try to get the shot going, but it was no good. Rebounded by Cardinals. The three is good for William Jewell, and William Jewell slowly making a steady comeback here, guys.
You know what? They're getting the shots they want, and they're putting them down. Those are efficient shots, and they're making them.
Sure are, and as I mentioned earlier, they need to hit those shots to win this game. They've been a very poor shooting team so far this year.
Shite driving through traffic, try to get the shot going, but she was fouled regardless. Now will send her to the free throw line. And some substitutions for the Greyhounds. Ortiz comes back in the game, and Lauren With comes back in the game, and out will be Patton and Jakaitis for the Greyhounds, as Maya Shite makes her first appearance tonight from the free throw line. Little confusion from the referees.
I will say it's so cool to see the different lineups that Coach Mark Mitchell has put out there. We've seen a lot of different faces, a lot of different lineups, and it really just goes to show how much trust he has in each one of his players.
Couldn't have said it any better, and it's really cool how creative he gets with it to try to see the different combos and different styles that these players will bring out, and it's been really a pleasure to watch for sure. Shite misses her first free throw. Maya Shite, only a 50% free throw shooter. Last season, she only appeared in 25 games, making 14 starts, and now Coach Mitchell having her come off the bench a little bit more, kind of being a spark of energy the Greyhounds definitely need with her presence for sure. Inbound pass, Cardinals. Collier Williams with the three. It is no good. Rebound by Zars. Gives it off to Rachel Sen, and the basket is good.
Great find there by Zars. She had two Greyhounds on her, but found the cutting.
Ortiz to Williams-Harris. To Caitlin Krebs with the three, but it is no good.
And yet again there, good ball movement there by UINDY, but just they couldn't knock on that shot.
And that will bring us to our second media timeout. That will bring us to our second media timeout. So we're going to take some time to step aside. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV on the GLBC Sports Network.
You got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Welcome back to Nickerson Hall. UINDY Greyhounds lead 25, William Jewell 23. And as you guys mentioned earlier, Mark Mitchell is definitely getting a lot more creative with his lineups. We've seen a lot of different kind of players coming out here today. Some players we normally don't see as much compared to last season to now. So what have you guys seen so far with his lineups that you like?
He's trying to match up well with William Jewell because Jewell has a lot of height on their team. They're trying to match up well with them. We haven't seen much from Sadie Hill tonight. Now, I'm not too sure why that is, but Sadie Hill, she's on the floor. She's a presence.
The freshman Emery Zars will inbound the ball for the Cardinals.
Talking about the different lineups, this is a team that has been playing really well together all game. The ball movement's been there, and the defensive communication has been there. As we see, they force a travel on the fast break. So
definitely that Greyhounds defense is really pushing in on these Cardinals here.
And that UIND full court press is definitely aiding to the pace of the game because it causes William Jewell to try to go fast up the court, and he's just going back and forth with the pace right now.
Harris with the jumper, it is no good. A little too strong. Rebounded by Emery Zars. As she tries to go fight through traffic, but it is no good as it will be a turnover for William Jewell. Now it is Greyhounds possession.
And it looks to me like the Cardinals are really falling into the trap of playing at UIndy's pace, right? That's what the Greyhounds want the Cardinals to do. They want them to go 100 miles per hour.
Looks like it's a blocking foul. So it'll be Cardinals ball. Sen with the three, no good. Rebounded by Lauren With, passes it to Williams Harris. The bounce pass to Ortiz, but it is no good. And now Cardinals will take possession of the ball.
Here we see they kind of fall back into a zone. They're throwing a lot of different looks at this Cardinal team.
They're trying to confuse the Cardinals into making a mistake.
And Williams Harris getting a little aggressive with Hillier as she was trying to defend her. Looks like it'll be called a foul on the Greyhounds.
And Caden, as you mentioned earlier, William Jewell is playing into UIndy's game, but they're playing into it well. Only down by 2 here.
Collier Williams goes to the right wing with the long overhead pass to Zars on the left side on the wing. And that will be a 24-second shot clock violation. Now it's Greyhounds ball.
William Jewell didn't seem to realize that the clock was winding down there. They were still passing it around, kind of obedient to the time.
Williams Harris to Caslin Krebs on the left side. Finds Ortiz back to Krebs, and Krebs will get the shot. It is no good. Rebounded by Cardinals. Collier Williams finds Aiden Shannon, who tries to go in, and she is called for the travel. That was obvious travel right there.
And at first, it was a great move to get past her original defender, but she just met a brick wall.
And Jody Mullins will check back into the game, taking Caslin Krebs a spot. Mullins will bring the ball up court. Hands passes to Williams Harris as she tries to go in the paint, but it is no good. Rebounded by the Cardinals. Ortiz is very heavily guarded on Collier Williams, and Aiden Shannon gets the three, and the basket is good for the Cardinals as they now take the lead in this game.
And Shannon definitely has the ability to be a high volume scorer. She's been in double figures 3 times this year.
Mullins fighting her way. Her shot is no good. Rebounded by the Cardinals. And another traveling violation for the Cardinals. And guys, Cardinals are kind of as much as they're getting steam, they're also making these silly errors that you frankly can't make if you're in this game.
Yeah, definitely. And William Jewell, they want some of these back. You can definitely guarantee that. They haven't won a GLVC game in 2 years, and they're going to want to win here tonight. They were 0-19 last year in the GLVC and 0-2 so far this year.
Williams-Harris with the three. It is no good. Rebounded by William Jewell. Aiden Shannon will bring it up court. She's on the left side. Passes it to Rachel Sen. Collier Williams with the pass to Aiden Shannon. A bit of ball movement here from the Cardinals. Collier Williams passes it back to Emery Zars. Emery Zars thought she was fouled, but it is no good. That is his Greyhounds possession. Liv Becker tried to find her way through traffic just to put up a shot, but she was fouled anyways, and that will send her to the free throw line.
You can see right now both teams have upped their defense. These last few minutes, there's been a lot more defense than we had saw in the first quarter, especially for the Cardinals. The Cardinals have been shutting down the UINDY offense recently.
Mark Mitchell talking to 4 of his girls right now, trying to figure out their next play as Liv Becker makes in her first shot. And Liv Becker, 78% free throw shooter. She had 4 starts last season as a true freshman, and now she's entering her sophomore year. And you'd love to see true freshmen truly get, their flowers going, especially with Liv Becker, as she's just been their kind of secret weapon from the three-point line, guys.
And if you watch Liv Becker play, you'll understand why she was playing as a true freshman, right? She's really coming into her own in her sophomore year and ready to really make her name known.
And you can see right here on the defensive side of the ball, putting the pressure there.
Bree Shannon's pass was deflected with another 3. A little too strong. Mullins tried to get the put back, but it is no good. William Jewell will now take possession. Ortiz tipped it out, but it will be William Jewell's ball.
Really a great hustle play there by Ortiz. If she doesn't get there in time, that's an easy basket for the Cardinals.
Collier Williams finds Caitlin O'Tronic in the paint. She was fouled. Rachel Sen making her checking in back for the game for William Jewell, as they'll send Caitlin O'Tronic to the free throw line. Excuse me, Libby Arnold. My apologies, as she sinks in her first free throw.
And I'm getting the feeling that the Cardinals are trying to slow this game down, but at some point they're slowing it down too much. They've ran the shot clock down on 3 or 4 possessions, a couple of them even being shot clock violations.
Yeah, Jewell's definitely noticing now they need to play into their game, not into UINDY's game. The longer they play into UINDY's game, the more chance that UINDY has to pull out this win.
And Madison Jones now checks in the game for the Greyhounds, taking Liv Becker's spot, as she's a little frustrated down there on the sideline. They'll send Libby Arnold back to the free throw line as she sinks in the first one. Libby Arnold, a 75% free throw shooter, as she makes her second.
2 nice little rolls there of the ball.
Call it the shooter's touch.
Ortiz finds Madison Jones heavily guarded. Lauren With trying to look for options, finds Mullins, who goes inside with the little jumper, and it is good.
She found that space there in the mid-range for the mid-range jumper to get the easy shot.
She's done it a couple times tonight. She is really good at coming off the screens set by Ortiz and With.
And Mullins just has a nice jump shot with a nice follow through. And the basket is good from William Jewell, as they have a 3-point lead here.
like you're saying, it's textbook, it's smooth.
Lauren With upset with that, and the William Jewell Cardinals bench is up on their feet as that was an offensive foul on Lauren With, her second.
We see her get the ball here. She wanted to go right. She went hard, but she didn't understand that there was a defender on her blind side.
Yeah, and that little swing of the elbow there definitely will get you every time.
Collier Williams guarded by Alani Williams-Harris. And it's been a great matchup to see those two play. The shot is no good from Rachel Sen, as it'll be UINDY's ball.
Sen had width on her, and she tried to put some post moves on, but she switched pivots, and the rest caught it.
Mullins will bring it up court, goes to her left. Finds Ortiz with the little fake pass and finds With at the low end. She was able to get that bucket going for the Greyhounds.
And With just flipped that matchup on her. Right as she was about to be scored on with a post move, she comes back with her own, puts up 2.
And there's that pressure from the UIND defense there, forcing the turnover.
Williams-Harris to Jody Mullins, but she was fouled. Now send Jody to the free throw line.
See here, great defensive awareness from Idalise Ortiz. It gets him out on the break and gets the foul call.
Jody Mullins, the Kennesaw State transfer, played 2 seasons there, 34 games, has a career high of 13 points.
She's one of the 6 newcomers to this Greyhound team.
Air ball from the Cardinals. Mullins will bring it up court. Mark Mitchell telling these girls to slow it down a little bit. Mullins fights her way through traffic. Shoots up the layup, but it is no good. Finds Williams-Harris, no good.
Man, 2 great shots there, 2 great looks, just unlucky bounces on both.
And that was a good little ear step there, too, to get the open shot. Unfortunately, she just couldn't knock it down.
10 seconds, 8 seconds left of this second quarter. Rebound by Ortiz, and Madison Jones will try to get one going, but it is no good as we are tied here at half. And while we have a moment, let's go down on the sidelines with Leticia Vaselli.
Hi guys, so we just finished the second quarter, and Mark Mitchell in every one of his timeouts, he was saying to the girls so that they take the shots and to stay solid because it's better to aim and miss than to waste the shots. And the crowd is looking a little more full today at Dickinson Hall. Hopefully the men's games will be more full, but back to you guys for now.
Across divisions, sports, championships, and schools for nearly 500,000 student athletes. College sports create lifelong opportunity, and that starts with education. We've raised the academic bar, so more are earning degrees, creating healthier campuses by working with the nation's brightest minds, and making sure more have the chance to succeed and are supported on their journey. But beyond the numbers, it's about opportunity, and we're working to provide it for every student athlete.
To them, the whole world looks like an opportunity, one to be seized, built upon, and made better for their sport and the people around it. To student athletes, every opportunity is a chance to change what could be and show the world what opportunity can do.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30, touchdown. Michaela Burgess.
An incredible finish by Hall. The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity.
On my team,
on my campus and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby. Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Spurgeon.
An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org/opportunity.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Wow, that's so many memories, I would say. I think the things that when my teammates and I get together, what we enjoy the most, I think, are just all the stories, all the things that happen between us playing against some of the best schools. You know, we played some Division I schools. We beat Eastern Illinois twice. A thrill for a Division II school to go in and to beat a Division I school. And I think we remember, you know, feeling like kind of the David versus Goliath. And that's what I think we realized, if you can come together as a group, you know, that you can have success. Well, I think any competitive person, it's tough. But I still look at it today, you know, it's been 30 years since I played competitive basketball, and in the business world and the education world, you lose, and things happen, and you go back to your playing days, and you got knocked down and you got to get back up. So that was kind of our mantra. I think to have dreams. I just, as a little kid, I had dreams that I wanted to do something athletically, you know, and basketball was my passion. And so I don't care what it is, do something that you like, that you're passionate about. That to me is the most important thing, and then work to achieve it. And if you work hard enough at it, I think your dreams can come true, even when people tell you it'll never happen. And that to me was kind of the David versus Goliath thing. Yeah, and it's a cliche, but I do think life is a game. Life is a competition. And I think I was prepared because I competed in college, and I say the same thing to people. You kind of those same attributes. You have to work hard, you have to practice what you want to do, and you have to believe in yourself, and you have to have those dreams, and you put that package together, and I think it's a pretty good package for success. Hi, I'm Larry Tucker. I'm a former NCAA student athlete from Lewis University.
Champions know how to seize opportunities. When they see moments of greatness unfold right before their eyes, They push as hard as they possibly can, and then they push harder. Because the heart of a champion never settles, never quits, and never stops giving its all. We are champions. We are Division II. We go big, we give it everything we've got, and we win. On the field, on our campuses, in our communities, for our causes, in our careers. We rise to become champions in everything we do. We are Division II, and there are no limits here. We make our time count. We set our own path. We become champions on our terms. It's time to up your game, because we're here to play and learn. But most importantly, we're here to discover ourselves, our vision, our heart, our drive, to achieve every goal we aim for, because we want to be champions at the highest level, life. At Division II, the opportunities are here. Are you ready?
If I lose, I'll respond with respect.
If I win, I'll back it up with humility.
If I fail, I'll rise up with honor.
It's tough for us to put it all on the line.
Don't undo my hard work with poor sportsmanship.
Respect. It's the name of the game.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I pledge.
I am an NCAA student athlete.
And I pledge to be a champion of unity
on my team, on my campus, and in my community.
I pledge to embrace differences and strive for inclusion and collaboration.
I pledge to stand against racism, hate, and discrimination.
I pledge to strive for love, care, and forgiveness.
I pledge to stand against silence, deceit, and obscurity.
I pledge to strive for dialogue, truth, and understanding.
I pledge to stand against fear and doubt.
I pledge to strive for trust and belief in one another.
I pledge to stand against complacency and stagnancy.
I pledge to strive for change and growth.
I commit to supporting my fellow student athletes in all circumstances that impact them.
I commit to both choosing unity personally and encouraging it for all.
I pledge these things because we are stronger together.
United as one.
From court to court and lane to lane.
Welcome back into Nickerson Hall, 31-31 here as we get set underway for the second half in the third quarter. And so far for the Greyhounds, they've only been shooting 9 of 34, so 26% compared to William Jewell's 40% field goal range. So Jace, Caden, what do the Greyhounds need to do to score better in the second half?
You mentioned their field goal percentage, right? They were out early in halftime, back in warm-ups, putting up shots. You got to think Mark Mitchell was not happy with the effort. The thing was that they were getting open shots, right? They were getting the shots they wanted to take, but they just weren't falling.
I think for UINDY, we need to see a bit more of Sadie Hill. She was in there to start the game, and we haven't seen much from her afterwards. Sadie Hill's been their most impactful player this year. And when she's in there, she can score in the post and also kick it out to the arc.
And Sadie Hill only been seeing 6 minutes so far in today's contest for a little bit of the first quarter, and she somehow just disappeared a little bit. But so far for the Greyhounds, their leading scorer is Lauren With, as she leads the way with 8 points, followed by Jody Mullins, 4 points. And Idalis Ortiz tied with 4 points as well.
We see both Hill and With out there, and it looks like the Cardinals will come out in a 2-3 zone, which I don't think we've seen yet from them.
Try and confuse UINDY and forcing a mistake and give them a different look here.
And different looks like that always put pressure on a coach because, you know, you're game planning for one thing and they come out in a completely different set.
Mullins with the shot, no good. Rebounded by Sadie Hill, and announcers jinx, Jace, as you mentioned, Sadie Hill coming back into the game, putting up UINDY on the board.
It's the right kind of jinx, though. Sadie Hill back in the game, making an impact immediately.
That sends pass was deflected by Jody Mullins, and she'll bring it away. The overhead pass to Williams-Harris on the low end was a little bit too strong, as it'll be UIndy's ball as they will inbound it.
They've been looking to get out and run all game.
Williams-Harris with the inbound pass to Lake, and she drives into the paint, but she is fouled, and that will send her to the free throw line.
And we saw that a lot in the first quarter, not as much in the second quarter, really penetrating, getting to the bucket, getting foul calls, if not made layups. And like we were saying earlier, foul shooting is a real strength of this team.
And that is indeed correct, as Indianapolis has been 11 from 16 from today. Now announce the streaks again, as now Lake knocks it down, bringing up 12 to 16 from behind from the free throw line. And Jada Lake is one of those six new students, as you were talking about, Kaden. She's just been kind of making an impact here for the Greyhounds.
And
she knocks down her second.
We haven't seen a lot of her up to this point, but just watching her in this game, you can tell she's a really good feel for the game, and I'm excited to watch her play.
And Rizar's with the turnover. Good defense from Sadie Hill.
And Hill did a good job there of forcing her out of bounds, standing her ground, making her have it step out of bounds there.
Defense has stood tall coming out of the break.
Mullins will bring it up court. And she decides to shoot it from downtown, but it is no good. Rebounded by Hillier. Zars with the three from downtown.
And Zars has been pretty impactful for William Jewell tonight. She's knocked on a few key shots here.
Mullins finds Sadie Hill with the layup, and it is good. And Sadie Hill instantly making her impact here in today so far in the second half.
And we could go on for hours talking about how Sadie Hill opens up this Greyhound offense, because she really just commands so much attention down there. And you see she has three on her. Well, that means there's at least two around the arc, and a lot of times he gets a lot of Greyhounds up for three.
And you can see that there are two players that were in the paint guarding Sadie Hill, where William Jewell's two smallest players.
And Sadie Hill will make her appearance at the free throw line here today.
And she is a great shooter from the line, about 87% from the line this year.
And they're important shots, especially in a game as close as this, right? A three-point game, these free throws mean the world.
An immediate timeout here. We'll take some time to step aside here, and we'll throw it. When we return, you're watching UINDY Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network. Welcome back into Nickerson Hall. Indianapolis leads 37, William Jewell 34. And 7 minutes and 54 seconds into this third quarter. What have you been seeing so far that's been been surprising you guys here?
So Sadie Hill, as I mentioned, coming out of halftime, she's in the game now, making her impact known to William Jewell. And now Williams needs to figure out a way to stop her.
And you see it right here. They bring 3 defenders, and that's about the only way you can guard her, right? One-on-one, she's a matchup nightmare on the block.
And right before the timeout, Sadie Hill was fouled, so that will send her to the free throw line here.
And her strength and aggressiveness really pair well with her foul shooting ability. They complement each other.
She knocks down her first. And she makes her second. As the Greyhounds lead by 5 here with 7:50 left to play in the third quarter. And over the back violation from William Jewell, and that will be another turnover on them, and it'll be UINDY's possession.
Comes as a result of that pressure, that full court pressure that UINDY has put on through the entire game. I think that might be another reason why we're seeing so many lineups out there, playing at that pace, playing that kind of basketball, really takes it out of you.
De'Asia Collier-Williams checks in for William Jewell. Sadie Hill with a turnaround layup, and it is good. Sadie Hill just showing what she does best, improving her dominance here so far in this third quarter.
Man, I love her footwork down low. She has a body on her. It's not bad defense, but she just moves so well, gets the open space with ease.
And she leads the contest with 11 points so far.
With only 6 minutes in the first half.
And the ball is stripped. Williams-Harris finds Sadie Hill with the and one. She's letting it know, putting that finger down. And my, oh my, is there anything Sadie Hill cannot do?
You know what? I'd call her a secret weapon, but it's no secret. The scoreboard tells the story.
And it makes you wonder why she wasn't seen more than in the first half. She only had 2 fouls there in the first half, but Mark Mitchell decided to keep her out of it.
Playing it a little bit safe with those 2 fouls. The graduate forward, Amani Moxley, checks into the game for Lauren With. And good defense from Jody Mullins, but when the assistant coach is a little bit pressed about that. And that will draw her first foul. Cardinals will inbound. And utilizing that half-court strategy, the Greyhounds just keep using that.
Here's De'Asia Collier-Williams, and I really like the way she plays. She's really quick with the ball. She's super tough to guard.
And I really love this matchup between her and Alani Williams-Harris, as that ball was stripped, stolen by Alani. Tries to go up for the layup, but she was fouled.
And she got her money's worth that time. She's gonna make her earn it at the stripe.
Now we'll send her to a free throw line. Mark Mitchell talking with his girls. And that will bring us to our second timeout here in the third quarter, as they will review the play. Greyhounds lead 44-38 here on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
And sent Liv Becker like into a screen.
Into Nickerson Hall, Indianapolis 44, William Jewell 34. And right before they took a timeout, the referees are reviewing the last play, as there's been talk about if it's a flagrant foul on William Jewell. as Alani Williams-Harris went for the layup, but she fell down really hard, and the coaches are like, review this. Right here, as you can see from this instant replay, as she was able to strip the ball, but De'Asia Williams-Collier with the foul. What do you guys think? Do you guys think it's a flagrant?
It's definitely an aggressive foul. I'm not sure if it reaches the flagrant level.
Right. I couldn't agree more with you on that.
At one point in time, that would be looked at as a smart foul, right? That's making her earn it at the line. But as we've moved forward in the game, they've really tried to cut down on these intentional fouls, possibly dangerous fouls such as that one, you know. Just the intentional nature. I think, in all honesty, it should be a flagrant.
The referees are still reviewing that. Mark Mitchell talking to his girls so far. But I really love this matchup between De'Asia Collier-Williams and Alani Williams-Harris. They're both very similar. They have a very similar style of play, and we've just been really very fortunate to see them here battle it out tonight.
They're both spark plugs of players, right? They play with a lot of energy, play with a lot of intensity, play with a lot of emotion. And they're lightning quick, both of them are.
The referee's still gathering it out as they told the Cardinal players to go back to their bench. Well, whatever they call it shall be very interesting, guys.
It's not often that referees are asking teams to head back to their bench. Giving them extra time, but both teams will take it, I'm sure, as they have a coaches meeting, it looks like.
Yes, Coach Mark Mitchell and William Jewell's Cardinals coach Jill Slominski. And let's talk about head coach Jill Slominski for a moment, as she's in her 27th year as head coach for William Jewell, and as a D2 coach, basketball coach for a women's program, you rarely ever see that longevity. And it's just amazing to see her still coaching out there.
There's no shortage of experience on that coaching staff, right? She's been on the block maybe once, twice, 6, 7 times. So even with an inexperienced team, a young team such as this one, she has it by the round.
And they may have called a flagrant here. You can see William Jewell staying at the half-court line.
And as Kaden mentioned earlier, you rarely ever see referees kind of telling the players to kind of stay back, but it will be a flagrant foul. And Sadie Hill will shoot at the charity stripe. She makes her 12th point of the game here.
Just like that, an 11-point lead in favor of UINDY. Now 12.
And we often see it out of the UINDY team. Mark Mitchell lights a fire under his team at halftime. They seem to always come out in the third quarter with a sudden burst of points.
His halftime speeches, I want to put him in a bottle, you know?
Yeah.
Well, whatever he's telling his girls, it's obviously working right now. Sadie Hill was trying to find Amani Moxley, but she wasn't able to get that pass, and it'll be turnover from the Greyhounds. William Jewell's possession.
Nowhere to go for the Cardinals.
Send back to Aiden Shannon as she was able to knock it from downtown. The freshman making an impact here today.
Well, she didn't have a lot of options, so I mean, she kind of just said, well, why not, right? Had a positive result.
Sadie Hill from deep, no good. Rebounded by Moxley. And it will be Cardinals ball. As Jada Lake try to strip the ball No good. Rebounded by Sadie Hill. Lonnie Williams-Harris to Jada Lake. Back to Harris. That is no good, as it is Cardinals ball.
It sounded to me like Mark Mitchell told Sadie Hill to shoot that ball. Did you hear that shot in the background there? And it might have just took Sadie Hill out of her rhythm, kind of rushed that shot. That might have been the reason for that air ball.
Moxley will check out of the game. In is Lauren With. And it's Cardinals possession.
UINDY's back here in a man set after being in the zone a couple of possessions.
Hillier off to Collier-Williams. Back to Hillier. Bounce pass to Sen. Tries to go over With, but she is fouled regardless. And the Cardinals bench is up on their feet as they'll send Sen to the free throw line once again. She's been a player who has been making a lot of appearances at the charity stripe tonight.
And you can see why. She really likes to attack the basket. She feels comfortable down in the post, and it was really a good move right there. Faked right, went left, and drew the foul.
Jada Patton and Maya Scheidt will check in back into the game. Out is Williams-Harris and Lauren With. Sen makes the first free throw. She now has 8 points today. Making her second, and she is now good for 9.
So we talked about her ability to draw fouls. That ability to draw fouls doesn't do much unless you're able to hit them, and sure enough, she is.
4:50 left to play in the third quarter. Jada Patton with a nice spin move, but it was no good. Rebounded by Hill. Little bit of aggressive pull right there.
So they called it a jump ball there.
Ooh, jump ball now. It is Cardinals possession. Greyhounds still kind of utilizing that full court press. Collier-Williams to the left wing. Aiden Shannon drives through traffic, puts up the shot, but it is no good. And Mullins on the fast break, and she is able to get that layup going for the Greyhounds.
That was a perfect pass there from Jada Lake into Mullins, right into the breadbasket.
Just a great looking fast break overall.
On the steal from Sadie Hill, as the pass was kind of deflected by her. Mark Mitchell yelling at his girls, trying to slow it down once again here. Mullins to Scheidt on the right wing, and she drains it.
And that's her game right there in the corner. That's her sweet spot. She's got a sweet looking shot. Awesome.
Last year, Scheidt was number 10 in three-point percentage in the GLVC, so she's accustomed to that.
Look, they're shot takers and they're shot makers. I think we say she's a shot maker.
And Cardinals head coach Jill Slominski is really upset, arguing with the referees down here. And she thought someone was fouled, but regardless, it will be Cardinals ball as they will inbound. She's kind of yelling at her girls over here, trying to slow down the game a little bit. Collier-Williams goes to the corner. Aiden Shannon with the long two-pointer, and it is good.
She kind of passed it and got in the way, in between the defender and the shooter, and it allowed for an open shot.
Mullins' basket no good. And a foul was drawn. And Mullins, that will be her second. Sadie Hill checks out of the game. In is Idalis Ortiz. And Alani Williams-Harris will check in for Jody Mullins.
And now with Sadie Hill out, you think that William Jewell is going to want to get a little run going here. because Sadie Hill can't score those easy points anymore.
Her exiting also opens the lane up a little bit, right? She's not down there being that defensive anchor.
Hilliard to Zars, who goes in on the left, passes it to Collier.
Seen a lot more Collier lately.
And who shoots from downtown, but no good. Rebounded by Zars, but that shot was deflected.
Really, that was just a great display of her reach, right? She didn't even need to jump for that. She just swatted that away.
That really is an asset, just being able to reach out and deflect that ball.
Jada Patton will now get to the free throw line here. The 5'11" freshman from Granger, Indiana, went to Penn High School, made the all-area first team. And she misses the second, but rebound by Ortiz, and she was able to get it in for the Greyhounds.
And Ortiz is doing what Sadie Hill's doing, getting into the paint, getting those rebounds.
That's winning basketball, too. It's not easy to come off the free throw line, off the free throw positioning like that and get off of the rebound and put it up under pressure.
Shannon tries to fight through, puts up the shot, but she is fouled. Cardinals bench pretty excited about that. That will send Aiden Shannon to the free throw line.
And Aiden Shannon's been one of their key players tonight for the Cardinals.
And she's gotten more aggressive as the game's gone on. Earlier, she was more of a spot-up, catch-and-shoot shooter, but now we see her really attacking the basket from all different directions.
She misses her first. Aiden Shannon with 9 points. She's just right behind Emily Zars as the second leading scorer for the team. She makes her second free throw. Now Williams-Harris will bring it up court. Mark Mitchell kind of telling his girls to space out a little bit more.
And since when he's gotten that lead, you can tell they are no rush anymore.
Scheidt with the three, no good. Rebounded by Patton, and she will be called for a travel. She took too many extra steps right there. Zars will inbound it for William Jewell. Greyhounds using that full court press to their advantage. It's Collier Williams with the fast break. Hilliard drives in. Back to Zars, drives in. She is called for the foul. No, Ortiz is called for the foul, so that will send Emery Zars to the free throw line.
And Zars is one of those three freshmen that came in and was instantly a day one starter with the Cardinals, and she's had a really good impact on this Cardinals team.
She misses the first, a little bit too strong right there. The referee's kind of yelling at Liv Becker to stay back until she makes the second one. As Liv Becker is ready to check in for Greyhounds. Zars makes her second. Now Liv Becker checks in the game. Out will be Jada Lake, excuse me. Ortiz will inbound it to Williams-Harris.
And we haven't seen a lot of Williams-Harris on the scoreboard, but we know that she can light it up at any moment.
And Williams-Harris in her last game played all 40 minutes in it, and that is something you rarely see from the Greyhounds, putting a player for 40 entire minutes of the game, and that's just insane right there. She shoots from downtown, but it is no good. Rebounded by the Cardinals. Collier Williams with the three, but it is no good. Williams-Harris with the deflected pass right there. Able to snag it for the Greyhounds.
And what you can see right here, Mark Mitchell is telling his players when to go. He's watching the shot clock, telling his players when to get the play going.
Possibly a 2-for-1 opportunity here.
40 seconds left of the third quarter. And nice bounce pass from Scheidt to Patton. She was able to get that layup for the Greyhounds.
Great use of the clock there. Great movement with and off the ball.
Collier Williams slowing down the bit of a play, looking at her head coach, Jill Slominski, right there. Hillier has the ball on top of the arc. Switches and just decides to go for the three. It is no good. Maya Scheidt with the rebound, and she just will throw it up in the air as the Greyhounds lead 56-44 to mark the end of the third quarter. And on that note, we're going to go down on the sidelines with Leticia Vicelli. Leticia, what do you have for us?
Just in this last media timeout, the head coach Mark Mitchell doesn't want the girls to stumble and hold back when making the blocks. He told Jada Lake and Ortiz to focus on widening their blocks inside the arc. And I also could not help but notice how amazing the communication is between the head coach and Sadie Hill. They just worked perfectly well together and set up the best strategies. We'll be right back with more right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Welcome back into Nickerson Hall as the fourth quarter gets underway. UINDY leads 56, William Jewell 44, and then in this third quarter, we've seen more of an appearance from Sadie Hill as she leads all scorers with 16 points. So guys, how much of her presence have helped the Greyhounds kind of gain that lead back?
Well, one thing I want to point out, we heard from Leticia Vicelli during the sideline report, right? She talked about the connection, the relationship between head coach Mark Mitchell and Sadie Hill, and we've heard it from the first game. There is so much respect between these two. Their connection, their chemistry, it's really showing here on the court.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Sadie Hill had an instant impact in that second half. And also, Lonnie Williams-Harris is bringing that pace to this team, and then towards the end they're slowing it down, kind of just listening to Mark Mitchell, listening to the head coach, slow the game down. He had the lead. There's no need to push that pace there.
And one thing I can appreciate, it hasn't necessarily been on the scoreboard, right, but it's been in every other facet of the game. She's moving the ball well, distributing. She's playing great defense, and she's bringing the energy overall to this team.
And here you can see Mark Mitchell right there. He yelled go and told his players to go, set the screen.
And when you have a lead like this, time management starts right now, right? I mean, they don't want to give the Cardinals any extra time to get back in this game.
And Mullins will be charged with offensive foul as it is Cardinals ball. Emery Zars to Kate Hillier in the corner. She was able to knock that three-pointer for William Jewell.
And they had that play set up and ready to go. You could tell, pass, boom, shot, makes it.
Jody Mullins really slowing down the pace of this game. As Leticia did mention in her report, it's just been excellent communication from the head coach and his players. And she finds Idalis Ortiz on the low end of the block, and she was able to get that layup going.
And what a pass. She threaded the needle with that one. A great bounce pass set up her teammate.
Hillier to Sen, back to Hillier, and she just will shoot again from downtown. She's kind of got a hot hand so far in this fourth quarter, as now it's cut down to an 8-point lead.
And Kate Hillier is by far their best shooter from behind the arc. That's 2 in a row from her. She's that spark that Williams probably needs in this fourth quarter.
And that's something that they kind of got away from at the end of the third, right? In the first half, that was their success, was their shooting, but they found it.
Ortiz tries to make a three-pointer, but it is no good. Rebounded by Mullins, no good. Ortiz tries to get the second chance, but it is no good, as it'll be Cardinals' ball.
And credit there to Liv Becker for saving that ball and keeping that possession alive.
Excuse me, it'll be UINDY's possession, as Williams Harris will inbound it. Sadie Hill now checks back in the game for Ortiz. Liv Becker to Lauren With. Lauren With's three was no good. And there is a foul drawn, and Mark Mitchell is pretty much in disbelief. But regardless, it'll be Cardinals' ball. It's Chloe Frank, the freshman, will bring it up for the Cardinals. Finds Czar, then finds Sen behind the arc, but it is no good as she tries to rebound her ball, but no good, as it will be UIndy's ball.
And you can tell that William Jewell is getting back to behind the arc now. They're getting those open looks from outside the arc. That's what they need to get back into this game. Let's go back to what they were doing in the first half and get those open looks at three-point.
And
here's Jody Mullins with the ball. We've seen a lot of her today, right? She's been a really focal point in this offense, and it's really a breakout game for her.
Sadie Hill to Liv Becker, and Liv Becker doing what she does best, raining threes from downtown to stop the bleeding for the Greyhounds a little bit. Back to an 11-point lead, as that is no good from William Jewell. Williams Harris will now draw it up court.
I'd like to see the Greyhounds find Liv Becker again. She's one of those shooters. It's like a microwave. She heats up really fast and can be really scary for any opponent.
I love your analogy, like a microwave, but he is correct. Mullins driving in for the layup. It is no good. Little fighting for the rebound down there, but.
And it seems like every possession that UIndy has, Mark Mitchell waits until 10 seconds on the shot clock to get the play going.
Smart technique from Coach Mitchell, trying to analyze the court and see if they can get the best possession.
I understand why he's taking the time off, right? You have 11-point lead with 6 minutes. You want to take as much time off the clock as you can. But at the same time, I feel like it kind of takes the Greyhound out of their rhythm, you know? We've seen a lot of forced shots, and when you give your team only 10 seconds to work with, it's hard to get quality shots.
Ortiz will now check in for Lauren With, as Zars misses the free throw. She makes the second, now this leader for her team with 12 points. Williams Harris will bring it up court. Who will give it to Liv Becker, as she's just standing and holding the ball, looking for her options. Talking to Coach Mitchell, kind of driving in a little bit. Passes it back to Williams Harris. Back to Becker. Williams Harris with the floater, no good. Ortiz tried to rebound it, but it is no good, and it's picked up by the Cardinals on a fast break. Zars with the rebound, no good. Sen trying to put back, but she was fouled on that.
I think the ref saw Zen get fouled by her own teammate there and decided to give it a call.
And Sen once again making another appearance at the free throw line.
And here in the fourth quarter with about 5.5 remaining, this is about the most important free throws of the game.
Yeah, these next few minutes will really determine whether William Jewell can get back into this game or not.
But this is a great place to start, no doubt.
Caitlin Krebs checks in the game for Liv Becker. As Sen was able to knock down the first free throw, she's able to knock down her second. UINDY still leads, has an 8-point lead. Mullins still slowing it down, bringing up the court, looking at Mark Mitchell.
Going a bit earlier this time.
And she drives in the lane, and she was able to get that layup going for the Greyhounds. They're kind of driving in the lane a lot and not afraid to definitely fight her way through traffic.
She's been aggressive all game, and she's not settling for what the defense gives her. No, she's finding her own shot. And a lot of times she's hitting it.
Yeah, and Mullins is having a breakout game in a UINDY uniform. She is a transfer over from Kennesaw State. That's in Georgia. And her first game with UINDY here.
Now she has 9 points. As she was able to knock that free throw down. Skylar Boylan trying to go in for the layup, but she was fouled. So that will send her to the free throw line. And at this point, Cardinals know that they can drive into the paint, more than likely they're going to get fouled, and that's going to get them to the free throw line.
And if it's not broke, don't fix it, right? These are easy points and to get yourself back into the game.
So if you guys were William Jewell, what would you do in order to regain this lead with 5:10 left to play in this fourth quarter?
Well, I don't think you have the time to get into your half-court sets anymore. You got to push the pace. You got to get out in the break. You got to put a lot of pressure on defense. You know, you can't sit back and let them take off 20 seconds of the clock, because that's 20 seconds that you could be on offense.
She misses her second, but it's rebounded by Sen. Back to Hilliard, to Boylan. And she will be called for the traveling violation. And guys, late in this game, you cannot afford to make silly mistakes like that. Easy turnovers right there.
And they've had a few of those today, a few of those travels, a few of those steps out of bounds, losing those key possessions that you need.
And you see the frustration, right? She had a lane. She knew she had a lane. She was so ready to take that lane, but she just got a little antsy. She moved before she dribbled.
And Mullins really loving that left arc right there. She's been pretty much there a lot in the second half. Tried with the overhand pass to Sadie Hill. Kind of a little bit of a dogfight down there. She was trying to gain the ball right there.
It's not sweet down there. They're competitors. Every single girl down in that paint is competitor. They want the ball.
The referee's kind of talking things out a little bit, as the coaches, the players have been told to go back to the bench, and that will bring us to our timeout here. And on that note, we will now go down to the sidelines with Leticia. Leticia, what do you have for us?
Sadie Hill once again is a leader in this game in rebounds and points. But also huge mention to Emery Zars from William Jewell with the highest number of rebounds in the game. Soon enough, we will hear from Coach Mark Mitchell himself as I interview him on the thoughts of this game right here on UINDY TV and the GLVC Sports Network.
You got Tennessee, Georgia.
Georgia, easily, man.
Come on, Tennessee's 8.5-point dogs. Easiest spread of all time.
How?
Because they're good, and Georgia's played nobody.
At least Georgia has a defense.
Oh, come on. You're an IU fan. Your opinion doesn't matter.
My opinion doesn't matter. The only thing you know as a Purdue fan is how to lose to a 15 seed in the March Madness tournament.
We're bowl eligible, my guy. Are you? Make sure to tune in to Last Call Monday nights. We'll talk about Division I football, give you plenty of UINDY sports, some interviews in there as well, and then plenty of pro sports, whether it be NFL, MLB, the whole shebang.
Yeah, and there's at least one guy that knows what he's talking about.
Welcome back to Nickerson Hall. UINDY leads 64, William Jewell 54. As we have 4:36 left to play in this fourth quarter. Inbound pass to Sadie Hill. She was trying to get the layup, but that is no good. It is rebounded on taken by William Jewell.
And they need to push pace here. The Cardinals do to get back in this game. Down by 10, you can't afford to waste any time here.
Clock's ticking.
Chloe Frank dribbling her way through her defenders. Hilliard there to help her right there. And it looks like it will be a push foul on UINDY.
Great defensive possession up to that point. There was nowhere to go. And hey, taking 20 seconds off the clock is a win for a defense in this situation.
For the Cardinals, that's the problem with the inexperienced team. They don't have that presence that a veteran team would have with the clock.
That IQ, that basketball IQ definitely comes with experience, right? That's why we give so much credit to veterans on professional teams and on college teams alike.
Hilliard was able to make that second free throw.
Here comes that full court pressure. Starting to bring a little more pressure to the defense for William Jewell, trying to force UINDY into a mistake.
Lonnie Williams-Harris does a great job of getting out of that, though.
Jody Mullins try to go in the paint. Now it will be Jada Patton's ball. She's driving her way through traffic with a spin around move. No good, but had her own rebound, was able to get that going, and the bench is on their feet.
As they should be.
That's a big rebound, second chance points for the Greyhounds. Trying to close this game out. Those are the kind of plays you need.
And offensive rebounding has been a huge plus side for this Greyhound team. I mean, one notable player would be Idalise Ortiz with 5 offensive rebounds on the night. And that just separates teams, really.
And speaking of offensive rebounds, Caden, as you mentioned, UINDY is dominating William Jewell in that category as they have 17 compared to William Jewell's 6, which is crazy to think about, but announcer's jinx right there.
Kate Hilliard again. That's their third of this half that she's just knocked from way downtown.
Maya Scheidt is now back into the game for the Greyhounds.
And the Cardinals might look to feed that hot hand, if you will.
Mullins will check back in for Lake. And Alani Williams-Harris will inbound it.
And Mullins is definitely getting her chance tonight due to the fact that Alana Wells is out with her injury.
And in her absence, this team has looked really great. I mean, it's not easy to fill shoes like hers with the leadership position she holds on this team, the energy that she brings to this team. So I think it's a real positive they can take from tonight.
Aiden Shannon with the mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Jada Patton. UINDY will have possession of the ball. Caitlin Krebs checks in, and Jada Patton will now sit out. 2:37 left to play here in the fourth quarter. As that ball was intended for Williams-Harris, but it was stripped by Collier Williams. as Zars and Sadie Hill getting a little bit aggressive right there. And like you guys mentioned, the intensity of this team, especially from Sadie Hill, is really undefined.
It looks great. You know, that energy really, it helps you on both sides of the floor, right? When you have that energy on offense, it really rallies you as a team and gets you going.
Zars will sink in her first free throw. UINDY still has a 7-point lead, so William Jewell slowly making a bit of a comeback as Zars misses her second, rebounded by Sadie Hill, and she'll pass it to Mullins.
It's a few key misses now from William Jewell from the line. If you want to come back in these games, you got to hit those.
Williams-Harris listening to head coach Mark Mitchell and trying to slow down the play as there's 9 left on the shot clock. She goes in for the floater. It's no good. It will be a foul here. That will be Williams-Harris' second foul of the game, and that will send William Jewell back to the free throw line once again.
And these fouls are almost worst case scenario for UINDY, right? Like, it takes 0 time off the clock. They get free shots, undefended shots to put points on the board, and that can be a recurring thing.
There's been one too many fouls here this quarter in these last few minutes. Sent Carlos to the line at least 6-7 times now.
And Skylar Boylan will make her first free throw. She will make her second free throw as well.
With that shot, it's now only a 2-possession game, only a 5-point difference.
UINDY needs to be a bit careful here. Keep their hands to themselves so the refs can't call that foul.
Ball security is so important right here. Have to be smart with it.
Mullins once again slowing down the play, dribbling back and forth, cross dribble. Goes inside the paint, passes it to Hill, and Hill does what she knows best and scores right there.
And that's the right play. Get the ball into your best player in the post.
That action has worked all game for them. The penetration from Jones and from Alani Williams-Harris has really set up their bigs, right? It gives them good shots right next to the basket, uncontested.
The coach is at the scorer's table, just analyzing a little bit of something right there. One of the referees talking to Mark Mitchell about that last possession.
And you see the graphic we have up here. What a game for Sadie Hill, 18-8. And if she notches out 2 more rebounds, that'll be her 3rd straight double-double.
Talk about her presence as a senior, just how much she means to this Greyhound program. You know, last season there was talk about her possibly being the new face of the Greyhounds after some of the players last season graduated, but now she's making her presence known this season, and it's been amazing to see.
And she's not only valuable as a basketball player, but as a leader of this team, right? You just saw her rallying her teammates, getting together. She's so smart. She's so knowledgeable about the game, and she puts it into practice.
She will go to the free throw line. Sinks in the free throw. Now.
Must have been a double technical on one on each team, so 1 shot for each team, it seems.
Makes sense. Eden Shannon to the free throw line. She sinks that one in as well.
You see something new every game, don't you? No matter how long you've been watching basketball, there's always something new out there.
What it must have been, because Sadie Hill scored 2 points. She had her one shot still. Must have been a technical foul called on UINDY that gave Williams Jewell 2 free shots.
It might have been. And on that note, we will take a timeout right here. UINDY leads 70, Williams Jewell 63. You're watching Greyhound basketball here on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network.
Award-winning news coverage. Brought to you by ethical journalists that care about you. We have you covered on crime, latest on sports, and the best in entertainment. This is UINDY TV News.
Welcome back into Nickerson Hall. UINDY leads 70, Williams Jewell 63, 7-point lead from the Greyhounds. As Collier Williams handles the ball up the court. Passes it to Hillier, and Hillier trying to go for the three, but it is no good, as it was an air ball right there. Maya Scheidt will now take possession for the ball. And you can see Mark Mitchell, what an expressive man down there on the court, sideline.
I love watching him coach. He just, like I said earlier, wears his emotions on his sleeve, and he's so intense.
I love the passion that he has for the game. You can tell he really enjoys coaching these girls. And Jada Lake able to knock down able to knock down that shot right there. Cardinals will now inbound the pass. Cardinals will hit the road for 6 of their next 8 games, including a trip to Alaska to play Alaska Anchorage on December 10th and 11th. How cool is that?
That must be such a cool opportunity to go play basketball in a place like that, which is just a great experience.
Shannon with her floater, with her mid-range jumper, no good. Williams Harris to Maya Scheidt to Jada Lake, and Scheidt will now gain possession of the ball, being dealt heavily guarded by Collier Williams.
Great timeout there by Mark Mitchell. Great coaching.
Yeah, she was stuck there in the corner, about to have a turnover there, but Mark Mitchell noticed it. Get the timeout in.
Well, a timeout has been drawn, so we'll take time. We'll step aside here on UINDY TV and the GLBC Sports Network.
Hey, it's Giselle here on 88.7 WICR.
88.7 The Diamond, the only jazz and classical station in Indianapolis, completely led by the students of the University of Indianapolis. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, TuneIn app, FM radio, HD radios, or even on our website at wicronline.org, a different kind of public radio.
Welcome in back to Nickerson Hall, and look at that sight, Greyhound fans. If you know this program well, Mickey Sasson cheering on, supporting her team right here, and what a sight. She was such a fun player to watch last season, such a huge help to the Greyhounds. as Jada Lake was able to get the layup going.
And that was all thanks to Sadie Hill there. Went up and caught the ball in a crowd of people and passed it over to Lake.
Aiden Shannon with the layup. Maya Scheidt double teamed. Lonnie Williams-Harris with the possession. And Jody Mullins will dribble it out, and that will be all she wrote as UIndy now goes on to 4-3 on the season. William Jewell back to 2-6. And look at Mickey Sasson happily cheering her Greyhounds right there. And we love to see that. And the player of the game, man, guys, Sadie Hill, what a game from her. 19 points, 9 rebounds, just 1 rebound shy away from another double-double, but still regardless, what an amazing night from her.
Not a shock to anyone, right? I mean, the numbers are right in front of you. 19 and 9, 7 for 8 at the free throw line speaks for itself. She's really just a magnificent player. I don't know what we can say.
And on that moment, we will go down on the sidelines with Leticia Baselli as she has head coach Mark Mitchell.
Hey guys, I'm down here with Coach Mark Mitchell. And Coach, congratulations on your win today. After the loss to Truman State on Monday, how was your mindset going into tonight's game?
I just was real frustrated. I feel like we killed ourselves a lot of times, but tonight we really finished the deal. So I'm really happy with our performance.
And your next game is on Saturday against Rockhurst, who are also known for having a high number of rebounds. How do you plan on not giving them those opportunities?
I got Sadie Hill and Flacco Ortiz, so that's how I'm going to handle that.
And last question, Coach. I know coming in, this is your first season with Indianapolis, and you guys are doing such a great job already. And I know that it's hard building the relationships with the girls. How has it been, the process of building those relationships?
Well, me being me, I'm just authentic and real and honest. And, you know, the young ladies really gravitated towards that. So we have a great relationship. I do want to shout out Marissa Knobloch. She's injured. Lionel Wells is injured, so they couldn't be here with us tonight. So I just want to shout them out. And we won this one for those two.
Perfect, Coach. Thank you so much. Back to you guys.
All right, thank you so much, Leticia Baselli, for her amazing work. And guys, what an amazing game from the Greyhounds. They got this win. They're now back in the win column. How do they use that confidence into Saturday's game against Rockhurst?
Well, I mean, first, I got to say, I love the relationship between Mark Mitchell and his team, right? He said it best. He's authentic and he's honest, and the girls gravitated towards that. And you can see it while they play that they really just mesh well together. And now they take this energy, they take this win after a loss to Truman State. They take this win and they just keep that energy up, keep that pressure up. They played their game, and, I mean, they're just going to take whoever's in front of them.
And I think Mark Mitchell has done a great job in his first season with the Greyhounds, already at 4-3, a win record at a positive note there.
And we will be right back here Saturday afternoon as the Greyhounds welcome in the Rockhurst Hawks. On that note, we want to thank Nathaniel Finch, Derek Jones, Charles Foster, Liam Blaze, Joey Messenbrink, and of course, you guys, my awesome team. I could not have done it without you. Caden Colfer and Jace Hodge. I'm Giselle Valentine saying we will see you soon here on Saturday. Have a great night, everyone.